Hey y'all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time of day that you're watching this video. As always, I pray that you are blessed and highly favored. So first things first, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and turn on your notifications so that you don't miss any of my videos. So let's get to it. So today is Mother's Day, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, all the stepmoms, all the fur baby mommies, all the stepmoms, all the foster moms, like all the biological moms. If you're a mom in any form, like moms that have taken in nieces and nephews, moms that have taken in, other people's kids of any form, listen, happy Mother's Day. I know how hard it is, or it can be sometimes, to be a mom. I happen to be a stepmom myself, and sometimes I feel like us stepmoms and foster moms, or people that don't have children but people don't realize that they really have angel babies, a lot of us get overlooked for Mother's Day. So I want to personally say happy Mother's Day to those particular moms. And then of course, our biological moms, our grandmas, because grandmas are the truth. And that kind of brings me to why I'm even doing this video today. So y'all have not seen me in a minute because honestly I have had a lot transpire in my life, and I just haven't been in the mood or having the mental capacity to do videos, and I realized that that's okay. But I recently lost my grandma, so I am dedicating this video to her. I literally lost her about 3 weeks ago. So yeah, and if you know me, you know that like my grandma I really cherish. I actually had the pleasure of having 3 grandmothers because I have a step grandmother as well. So I just have my dad's mom left and my mom and my dad's stepmom left. But I lost my mom's mom, and if you know me, you know she truly was my heart. Like, honestly, she's the person that like I've always longed to be. She was never judgmental, but she was very Christian. She believed in God. She trusted God and everything. But when I tell you, like, we used to do dumb stuff, or when the things that I felt so ashamed about, she had this way of reassuring that, like, first off, I wasn't the first person to ever do some stuff like this. And I'm gonna try to do this video without crying, but we're gonna see. But she just like, she was just the epitome of what I longed to be in life. She was sweet, but she meant what she said. She never judged people. Like, I'm telling you, when we used to do dumb stuff, stuff that your parents get on you about, like, my grandmama used to be looking like, listen, I mean, you're not the first person to do it, you're not the last. Like, I remember when I got divorced, like, I felt so ashamed about it. I feel like, I just felt like I had failed. And I didn't even tell my grandmother that I had got divorced because that's how I felt about it. And I don't even know why I didn't tell her, because I knew she would understand. But really, like, when she found out, she didn't judge me for it. She was just like, I ain't even gonna tell y'all what she said, because she actually said something really funny. Because now my grandmother, she was married, but she wasn't, she had other children out of wedlock, but she did marry my mom's dad, or whatnot, but they had been separated for years. I mean, like, years, or whatnot. So, like, she understood, relationships not working out. She understood being pregnant out of wedlock. Like, she understood so much, and she just never had this judgmental phase about her. And so I say all of that to say that, like, I really and truly cherished her. Like, all the recipes that I want to know, like, when I tell you, I used to call my grandmother for everything. And I feel like that's the one thing that people kind of like don't do. We don't cherish the people that we should cherish in life, and then it becomes like so hurtful. Mind you, death is hurtful regardless of if you know that it's coming. Like, it still hurts you, it still impacts you. But for me, I'm very grateful that I cherish my grandma. Like, I would call her, we would laugh and joke. When I tell you, my grandma had jokes for days, but like, she was so soft spoken. in her later days that like you literally had to be sitting next to her to hear what she said. And she was the type of person to say something so fast, so quick, and so quietly that like you would be rolling on the floor and people don't even know why, and she just sitting there with this straight face. And sometimes she would be sitting there with this smirk on her face too, but it was just, I just absolutely loved my grandmother. But like I said, I called her all the time, Mother's Day, birthday, whatever came around, made sure I called her. And even, I didn't just call her on those days. I called her, like, on random days just to check in, see how she was. I would go there. She lived in Mississippi. I lived in Michigan, and most of the time I lived in Georgia when she lived in Mississippi, but I also lived in Michigan. But I still made it my business to go see her, especially if I was down south and could. So, with that being said, I feel like I cherish her, and I feel like losing her, it was a lot easier on me than I feel like a lot of people. Granted, I still have that grief. I still have that, times where I get teary-eyed, but I truly cherished her to the fact where I have no regrets in this life. And that's really the point of this video, is to cherish the people that love you the most. Like, when I tell you, my grandmother's the only person in this life that has never ticked me off. She has never that one time made me mad. Maybe like when I was little and I wanted to watch my cartoons and she was up here watching these soap operas. Like, that's probably the most I can say my grandmother, because she was just that kind of person. Like, she never had, rules and stipulations. She had rules and stipulations now, but like when it came to life, when it came to living life, she never judged me for it. And I think that's important. I think that she embodies the Christian woman that I thought to be. She may not have like went to church every Sunday, but like the life that she lived was such a solid life. Like, granted, she served on the mother's board and everything else, and my grandmother had so many accomplishments that even me, sometimes I feel like I missed a lot of stuff that she had. Like, even in her death, when we was going through stuff, we was finding stuff. And that's another thing about my grandmother. Like, I found out, like, my grandmother never missed anybody's birthday. Like her grandkids, her children, her friends. Like, she always called everybody, and I couldn't for life figure out, how she did it all the time, even in her old age. And like, it's like she just remembered. But when I tell you, my grandmother, like, we was going through her stuff, she wrote down everybody's birthday. Like, everybody's birthday was in her calendar every year and whatnot. Now, I don't know if she just remembered people's birthdays just because she remembered them or what, but I feel like when she was younger, she really remembered our birthday. Like, she just remembered. And then, like, when she started, getting to old age, I know I didn't mention this, but like, she had silent dementia in her later days. We found that out a few months ago, whatnot. So she was still she was writing stuff in her calendar. Like, she wrote the day that they called about her mother being in the hospital. She wrote who she talked to. She wrote the time. Like, she literally wrote this stuff in her calendar. But she also had another book, like, that she would write stuff in. And so, like, she wrote the time that she got the call for her mother. It was just stuff like that. Or she would write the time where she would talk to her siblings. Like, she was the oldest of 9 siblings, so anytime she talked to them, like, she would write it down in the time. And I just thought that it was so fascinating. I thought that it was like the way that she documented stuff so much. And you feel like stuff like that doesn't really matter, but it does. Like, it really does to me, because to see, the times where she got the call about her mother being admitted to the hospital, to where she got the call where they gave her an update about what was going on with her mother. And she didn't just do this with her mother. She did this with, like, friends. She did this with family. She did this with, like, she literally wrote down, like, every time she talked to me. And that hit me so hard, that to see that, like, she really wrote all of this stuff down. But nevertheless, she's literally the person that I embody. So just cherish the people that love you the most and that you love the most. I can't say that dealing with their death will make it, easy peasy, but it'll make it easier to the point where like you'll feel at peace. I remember we literally sat on FaceTime because we're in Michigan, like I said, and she's in Mississippi, so we sat on FaceTime when they pulled the plug, and I sat there and shed a few tears, and then like the next few days I kind of just kept going, and it was just like I never really had like a moment where I just completely just like stopped. It was just bawling or something like that. And I'm not saying that that's not how, you know, that you may still feel, but I felt so at peace about it. Truly, I have the gift of discernment, and recently a friend definitely just told me that, you know, I need to stop downplaying that. So I kind of knew that I would lose her this year. I actually, like, you know, I felt it in my spirit. So the funny thing is, we actually went to visit her. We went to visit her 1 week, and then the next week we got the phone call about her basically transitioning, because they think she had a stroke and stuff before she transitioned. But we got that phone call the week later, and so I'm just happy that I went down there. I'm happy that I got to take my mom, because my mom really wanted to go, because she hadn't been to Mississippi in a long time. Granted, like, she talks to her mom all the time, but she just really wanted to go, and I felt it in my spirit that we really needed to go, and God made a way for that to happen, because originally we had canceled those plans to even go see her, because due to monetary issues and, you know, work related schedules. But I'm so grateful that God like really makes a way, and I knew we needed to get there sooner than later either as well. But all in all, this is still a difficult time, and of course today is Mother's Day, and typically I would be calling her laughing and stuff like that, and that's just not what happened today, and that's okay. Like I said, I still have my other two grandmothers, so I'm grateful for that. But I also want to shout out Whitney, she has gone through the same thing that I have went through. She went through it earlier this year, and so I feel like a lot of times I look at her Facebook posts and they really get me through the day. And I just wanted to let her know that, you know, I'm grateful for the things she said and her reaching out and everything to feel. I just feel like she's really helping me get through this. And, you know, I don't know if I ever say anything to help her get through it, but I hope that she knows that, like, her living is not in vain, because she's definitely helping me get through this. So again, happy Mother's Day. Cherish the ones that you love the most. If you haven't talked to somebody, call them if you feel the need to call them. If you feel like there's certain urge to call somebody, do it, or say whatever you need to say, or send them a letter, whatever it is, do that. And happy Mother's Day to all the great mommies out here, because a lot of people are the best to ever do it. So there's that. Again, make sure that you subscribe to my channel and turn your notifications off so that you do not miss any of my videos. And until next time, I hope you're blessed and highly favored. Peace.